Good afternoon, everyone. It is Saturday, April 29th, 2023. We have had our month end, and once again, ending with a squeeze. Uh, Last month end, we had this incredible ripper that started on Tuesday, ended on Friday, rose us up, whatever that is, about 200 points. This month end, we made a new low of the month on the week during the week of month end, and then rallied up almost to make a new high of the month. So April was an extremely tight range. I think it was only about a 200 point range for the entire month, about 40.69 about there. Oh wow, only 130 points, extremely tight. The average range being on a month about 250 points, so just a very, very tight month. My thoughts coming into the month was that we would have some sort of expansion, or sorry, coming into the week would be that we'd have some sort of expansion. I thought either to 4,000 or 4,300, and clearly that's what the market thought as well, getting extremely short, but unable to get that true liquidation session. Just every earnings was extremely good. Monday, we managed to salvage this thing at the lows and ramp back up. Tuesday was when we got that liquidation start to happen. And at the close, we had, what was it? I think Google and, I can't remember. I think it was Google and something else at the close, which caused that spike up. That spike, though, was capped by Monday's VWAP close during the entire night. Sold back down during Wednesday, liquidated further off into the 70s. And I'd mentioned that if we had, coming into Thursday, I believe, I had said that if we regain this base of the ramp around 4080-ish, if we regained this where we spiked so nicely off of on Wednesday, if we regained that, we would likely start heading back towards 4138. And that is what we had. Wednesday at the end of the day, we got a spike up off of Amazon earnings at the end of the day, and then that spike was maintained. We didn't visit it during the overnight. So this thing was looking pretty bullish on Thursday. And that's when we started that squeeze. We started this huge squeeze. And I was looking at a high of the day to come in somewhere around here, 38 to 40. But we squeezed all the way up to about 60-ish. And I think that was Meta earnings on Thursday, or maybe Meta earnings was on Wednesday and Amazon was on Thursday. I can't recall. I think, yeah, Amazon was on Thursday. And then Friday was going to be the test of that breakout. And we spent the entire night below the monthly POC, the weekly POC, and the sessional POC from Thursday. We back-tested that trend line, back-tested the quarterly close at 41.38, back-tested the quarterly open at 41.32, and then ramped up to almost a new high of the week. Once we got about 55, just everyone was offside once again. We made a double top temporarily intraday, and then we ramped and closed to the highs of the week. So this thing closes the week out at the second standard deviation of VWAP, above where 95% of the volume traded. Close out the month at the second standard deviation of monthly VWAP, near the highs of that huge balance, this 4,300-ish balance we've been trading in for, whatever, a year or so. Gotta zoom out even more. There we go. Since, I don't know, April. Yeah, it's been a year. This year-long balance, 12 months. We close out near the highs of it. And important to note that the monthly deltas pretty much zeroed out upon the 4 p.m. close. Pretty much zero. So everything's flattened out, and we are starting pretty much fresh coming into next week here. So let's get into next week. What do we have news-wise? Well, ISM manufacturing on Monday, pretty important. Jolts, yeah, pretty important. Wednesday's the big one. FOMC, per usual. That's always our big one. FOMC. Which way will she go? No one knows. That is what I think will be our big event on the week. I'm not going to make any sort of bold claims for directionality, but I think if we get below 4180-ish, we can backtest this 55 and 38 area, which I would imagine holds. There's a lot of spots for this thing to catch bids just because we trapped so many people short during this ripper. So I would be in favor of staying overall really bullish for sure over 41.55, but really staying pretty bullish over 41.38 where we have this beautiful demand zone. And I would be in favor of this thing being relatively rotational until we get that FOMC news. Maybe we go up to 42.30, but I don't think we'll be getting much higher than that. So I think largely we'll be looking at this sort of trading range for the week. I don't think we're going to be spending a ton of time inside this April balance. Once we're done with FOMC, I wouldn't be surprised if we start playing around with that 4,300 number, this huge zone here from 4,275 to 4,300 from this August, kind of mid-August time. And whatever that is, April, May? Yeah, April, May, double top, triple top thing. Yeah, triple top, 1, 2, 3. Round out 3/4. So I think the name of the game is going to be range expansion for this month coming up. I think that'll be important to note. We had this tight range in February, but hey, at least we liquidated off during the end of it. April has stayed in an insanely tight range, and I would look to not really expect much trade inside of there. I would look for some sort of directionality to occur. So that's all I have for this week coming up. Nothing crazy here. Watching that 41.38, 41.55, 41.88, and then the same usual numbers to the upside, 42.23, 43.03. To the downside, if we lose this 40.95 area, that 94.75, that's the 95% value area low from last month, from April. If we lose that, I think we take out the swing low at whatever that is, 40.68-ish, whatever it is, 68.75. I think we lose that, and we start to come back into yearly VWAP, if not the quarterly VWAP close from the first quarter at 40.14 3/4. So that's how I'm looking at this week. Largely rotational, maybe a little bit more further upside, but largely rotational until we get that FOMC announcement, and then we'll see which way she breaks. It'd be a good week to play it a little bit smaller, a little bit hesitant, and then let's see what the week after brings us. So hope that helps. Hope that makes sense. I'll put out an NQ chart later today or tomorrow, and see you guys later.